What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. We've already put out our transfer update. If you want to go and check that out, then you can. That will be up on my channel. We'll be back again tomorrow for another daily Manchester City transfer update. But because I missed a video on Sunday, and I do feel quite bad, I thought I'll put out 2 videos today. And we'll see what happens. So, we're going to have a look at 5 potential alternatives to Kalidou Koulibaly, as that transfer is becoming more and more difficult for Manchester City to get completed. So I'm going to look at 5 potential alternatives that City could target instead. But before we crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help support my channel, then subscribe. It's free. I'm aiming for 10,000 subscribers. At the time of recording this video, we're now less than 600 subscribers away, so any help towards that will be much appreciated. You can find my social media links. They're in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget also, you can find my email in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and also don't forget, leave your thoughts in the comments below of these alternatives, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say. And so we're going to have a look at some alternatives to Kalidou Koulibaly. This is in no particular order, but I'm going to start the video off by firstly speaking about someone that we've spoken about plenty of times this summer, Milan Skriniar. Now, he's a 25-year-old Slovakian centre-back who plays for Inter Milan. Now, a sale would help fund Inter Milan to sign some players this summer. Looking more and more likely that Lautaro Martinez will not leave Inter Milan this summer, and I say that because Barcelona are really struggling to gather up some funds. He's right-footed, would sit nicely on that right-sided or the right side of centre-back for Manchester City. He is just under 6'2". He's good aerially, and he's also a very good reader of the game. And in my opinion, this would be a solid signing for Manchester City. If we're speaking about price of the player, Inter did originally want around 80 million euro, which is similar to what Napoli are looking for Koulibaly. I imagine with what's happened with the pandemic and the finances, that price could come down, and I reckon we could be looking at somewhere between 60 to 70 million euro, which is roughly around Manchester City's price range for what we're looking to spend on a centre-back this summer. Now, the one big advantage that Skriniar's got over Koulibaly is his age. 25 years old for Skriniar. Koulibaly, of course, 29 years old, so there would potentially be either long-term service for Manchester City, so we're going to get more years out of Skriniar, or potentially a sell-on fee instead if things maybe didn't work out or he wanted to leave. And so, in my opinion, a good solid signing, Milan Skriniar. So, we'll go look at another player that City's now been getting linked with quite heavily too, and it comes in the form of Pau Torres, a 23-year-old Spanish centre-back who plays for Villarreal. And he's had a good solid season, by the way, in La Liga for Villarreal. He's 6'2". He's an excellent distributor of the ball. He seems like a wonderful player, and it seems like he'd fit into Manchester City's side with no problem whatsoever. The problem I've got is City are looking for a long-term partner for Aymeric Laporte, and Pau Torres is left-footed, and so he seems like he'd suit playing on the left-hand side rather than the right-hand side. Whether City would like or feel comfortable playing 2 centre-backs that are both left-footed or not, I do not know. Of course, with us signing Nathan Ake, we've got enough options there on the left-hand side of centre-back, so this signing, to me, anyway, doesn't make sense. And whilst he's an excellent player, and I can see why Manchester City are getting linked, I just don't see how he would fit in to Manchester City's system, because we've got Laporte, we've got Nathan Ake as well potentially coming to Manchester City, so I just don't see where he would fit in, because we're looking for a partner for Laporte. We're looking for a player that's going to play on the right hand side. We're looking for a player that's basically right footed, because it's just going to be confusing with pressing players. Like, you've got 2 left-footed players. I just don't see how it would work. I don't know if City are going to go for that or not, but there we go. Anyway, we're going to move on to another player that City have been getting linked with, and it's Diego Carlos. Now, he is a 27-year-old Brazilian centre-back. He's right-footed, which means that's good. He's going to suit the right-hand side of centre-back for Manchester City. Just like Pau Torres, he's had an excellent season in La Liga too. Diego Carlos, of course, playing for Sevilla. Pau Torres playing for Villarreal. Apparently, Diego Carlos, he has got a release clause of around £68 million, which a little bit excessive. City could probably pick up Koulibaly for roughly around the same price, but apparently Sevilla, they are looking for around £10 million less on his fee due to the pandemic, so they're willing to accept just under £60 million for him, which in my opinion may well be worth a punt. And just like with what I said with Milan Skriniar, who's got a couple of years on Koulibaly, so Diego Carlos would be a signing that would make sense. I've not seen too much of Diego Carlos, if I'm completely honest, so I can't comment too much on his style of play. But what I will say is that if Manchester City are showing heavy interest and City are willing to pay that much money for him, then he must be good, in my opinion. He's 6'1", so I'm hoping that it'll be good aerially. City always looking for players that are going to be good aerially, in particular in teams of targeting set pieces. It is something that we have struggled on in previous seasons. So, yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. Instead, we're going to move on to a player that's probably the most unrealistic in this video, and it comes in the form of Jose Gimenez. Now, he's a 25-year-old Uruguayan centre-back for Atletico Madrid. 25 years old, a very good age for Manchester City. Good sell-on value if you chose to sell him, or would get some good service out of him. I imagine 25 years old, you'd be looking for 9 or 10 years out of him, really, in my opinion. He's a little bit smaller than some of the other players we've mentioned. He's 6 foot tall, but still, he's a good reader of the game. He's excellent at distribution, and he'd be everything that Manchester City would be looking for under Pep Guardiola with signing a centre-back. He's right-footed, so he's going to cover that right-hand side of centre-back very nicely. The problem we've got is Atletico know how good he is, and so they don't want to sell. The only way they're going to sell is if his release clause is met. They are looking, with his release clause, getting €120 million. I simply do not see Manchester City breaking their transfer strategy to spend €120 million on a player. Now, we're looking at alternatives to Kalidou Koulibaly. Koulibaly is cheaper than what Jose Gimenez would cost Manchester City. In terms of pounds, we're probably looking for Koulibaly, I reckon, at somewhere between around £65 to £70 million plus some add-ons. With this deal, we're simply looking at more than £100 million. So we're looking at spending around £30 million more on this transfer. Whether Manchester City could negotiate that fee down, I do not know. I don't know how desperate Atletico Madrid are for money, but considering they spent €120 million last summer on João Felix, maybe they might be tempted to sell for a little bit less. I do not know. Maybe City could add on some add-ons. I don't know, like with what Manchester United are trying to do with Jadon Sancho. Like I said, I'd be surprised if this transfer gets done, simply because Atletico don't want to sell. And the only way they're going to do that, it seems, is via his release clause being met, which I just don't see City spending the amount of money that I have mentioned. But I would love Jose Gimenez at Manchester City. Would love to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. And so, our fifth and final potential alternative brings us on to Ruben Dias, the youngest of the players that I've mentioned in this video. He is 23 years old, just starting to head into his prime. He's a Portuguese centre-back, 6'1", playing for Benfica in Portugal. He's right-footed, covers the right-hand side of centre-back very nicely. He looks very complete, in my opinion. He looks like an absolute unit. He looks like a wonderfully built Premier League centre-back, in my opinion. Signing Ruben Dias would excite me. Number one, he's young, 23 years old, so I'm confident that there's going to be a big sell-on value should we sell him, if we wanted to sell him. But if not, we could get lots of service out of him. 23 years old, we're looking at 11 or 12 seasons. That long-term Vincent Kompany replacement, tick. There we go. That's in my opinion. Now, what we'd be looking for when we sign a centre-back is we're looking for that top-class player to hit the ground running. And so, with Ruben Dias, I'm just not sure he's at that stage where he's that top-class centre-back yet. Give him 1 or 2 seasons, most certainly, he'll be right there, in my opinion. But he's playing in the Portuguese league, which it's a good league. It's just there's top leagues out there, which, in my opinion, would test him a lot better and would help aid his game and help him to develop and become even better than what he already is. And he would need a season or two to go through that transition, if I'm completely honest. But if Manchester City wanted to spend the amount of money that we wanted to spend on a centre-back, then Ruben Dias may well be one of them options. He does have a release clause of around £87 million. I imagine that Benfica would probably, like Sevilla, negotiate that fee down and would be able to pick him up for a little bit less. How much less, I do not know. We're probably talking of a similar fee to be paid for Koulibaly. It all depends on what takes Manchester City's fancy in the transfer market. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But one thing I will say say is Benfica don't necessarily need the money. They sold João Felix to Atletico Madrid last summer. They made €120 million on that, so they're probably going to want his release clause meeting if City did want to sign Ruben Diaz. But if City wanted a younger centre-back, then I wouldn't have any problems with Ruben Diaz. In my opinion, though, all these centre-backs that I've mentioned in this video, they've all got pros and they've all got cons as well. And so, I'd love to know in your comments below which centre-back out of these 5 that I've mentioned that you would like to see Manchester City sign should Kalidou Koulibaly no longer be applicable to Manchester City. Or any other names, let me know of them in the comments below. So there we go, that's been the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below too. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Aiming for 10k subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. And don't forget also, you can find my email in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And lastly, you can find my social media links in the description. But if you'd like to see any more videos like this, looking at any other alternatives for any other positions that Manchester City may well target this summer, then just let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Or like I said, just leave a thumbs up if you're enjoying the video and I can see that you're enjoying the video, then I'm going to look to do more similar style videos like that. So there we go, that's been the video. I'll see you all again very soon. I've been JSGC. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next Manchester City daily transfer update. Hope everyone is safe and well. Thank you for watching. Peace. Ciao for now.